AITA for telling my best friend her husband has a wife and child in another country. My best friend's husband was the most charming man I'd ever met. Then I attended a conference in his home country, and a woman approached me at the hotel bar because she recognized me from my friend's Instagram. She introduced herself as Paulo's wife. Elena and I have been best friends since the first week of university, 17 years. When she met Paulo 4 years ago, I was genuinely thrilled for her. He was warm, attentive, funny in the right ways, and visibly besotted with her. He had moved countries for her, which is not a small thing. They were married 18 months after they met. I was her maid of honor. It was one of the best days of my life. Last year, I attended a professional conference in Paulo's home country. It was a 3-day event, and on the second evening, I was at the hotel bar reviewing some notes when a woman sat down at the adjacent stool. She was nervous in a way I noticed immediately. She said she was sorry to intrude. She said she recognized me from Elena's Instagram. She had been following it for months. She said her name slowly, like she was preparing herself for what came next. Then she said she was Paulo's wife. I thought immediately that she meant ex-wife, previous partner. I said something like, from before Elena. She said no. She said they had never divorced. She said they had a 7-year-old son. She showed me photographs on her phone. She showed me their marriage certificate, dated 9 years ago. She showed me bank statements, a series of regular transfers from Paulo to an account in her name, which had stopped arriving 8 months ago. Which was, she said, approximately when she had started seeing posts on Elena's Instagram suggesting that Elena's grandmother had recently died and left her a significant inheritance. I sat with this woman, her name is Daniela, for over 3 hours. I asked every question I could think of. I called my brother, who is a solicitor, on video from a corner of the bar, and he walked me through what I was looking at. I verified every document I could verify in that moment. Paulo's marriage to Elena was not a real marriage. He already had a legal wife. The marriage was bigamous. He had a 7-year-old son he had been financially supporting until 8 months ago when Elena had inherited money and he had, apparently, decided he no longer needed to. I flew home the next morning, earlier than planned, first flight available. I went directly from the airport to Elena's house, luggage and all. I sat her down. I showed her everything. She called Paulo on speakerphone while I sat across from her. He denied every single thing with a confidence that made me feel like I was watching someone perform. He denied it while I held Daniela's marriage certificate on my lap. Elena believed him for 6 days. Then she hired a solicitor who ran independent verification. The truth is what it is. Paulo was arrested 4 months ago on charges of bigamy. A financial fraud investigation is also underway. Am I the asshole? Update, 5 months later. Paulo entered a guilty plea on the bigamy charge. The fraud investigation is continuing. The prosecution is examining the full financial picture, including what was transferred between accounts, when, and under what circumstances. Elena's inheritance has been frozen as part of the proceedings while they establish what he accessed and how. Elena is living with her parents. She says on good days, she feels like someone who survived something enormous, and that's almost like pride. On bad days, she says she looks at every memory of the last 4 years and doesn't know which parts were real. Daniela and Elena have spoken twice. They are not friends, they may never be, but there is something between them that I can only describe as a shared gravity. 2 women oriented around the same absence. Elena took back her grandmother's surname last month. She told me it felt like finding a room in herself she hadn't known was there. I have never for a single second regretted going to her directly from the airport. The only thing I regret is that any of it was true. NTA or ITA. What would you have done with that information? Comment below.